All right, today we're going to talk about a real titan. And I'm not just talking about a big company, I mean, this is the engine that literally powered a nation's growth. This is the story of how NTPC became this absolute energy giant. So let's just start with a huge question. I mean, how do you solve a nation's energy crisis? Seriously, put yourself in those shoes for a second. You've got a power country with hundreds of millions of people. The lights are flickering, factories can't run. Where do you even begin?
Well, in 1975, an answer started to take shape. A brand new public company was created with one of the most ambitious goals you can imagine: to build the very backbone of India's power grid and basically secure its entire energy future.
To really get why NTPC is such a big deal, we have to go back in time and understand the problem it was built to solve. Let's take a look at what was happening in India back in the mid-70s. You see, before NTPC, the whole scene was, well, it was a mess. It was totally fragmented. Power was handled by individual states, so you had all these small, uncoordinated projects that just couldn't keep up. The country was dealing with constant power shortages that were holding the entire economy back. What India really desperately needed was a one central, powerful utility that could think big, build big, and, actually run things efficiently. And that's exactly where NTPC came in. This next bit is all about how they went from just an idea on paper to becoming the most dominant force in the country's entire energy sector. This timeline here gives you a great roadmap of their journey. It all starts with its founding, of course. Then it gets this major boost in autonomy as a Navratna, then it goes public, and finally, it hits the absolute pinnacle, becoming a Maharatna. Each one of these was like a major level up for the company. So this is where they really built their reputation. See, NTPC didn't just build power plants, they brought in a whole new culture of getting things done right. They were obsessed with their plant load factors, which is basically just a fancy way of measuring how efficiently a power plant is running. And by keeping their numbers way higher than the national average, they got this amazing reputation for being world-class and for actually finishing these huge projects on time and on budget. So after a couple of decades of just proving they were the real deal, NTPC got its first major upgrade in 1997. And this was a total game changer. So you hear this term Navratna. What does that even mean? Well, you can think of it like a massive vote of confidence from the government. It was basically them saying, okay, NTPC, you've proven yourselves. You've grown up. We're going to give you more freedom to make your own big decisions without us looking over your shoulder for every little thing. And the change was huge. I mean, look at this. Before 97, NTPC was pretty much just a builder of power plants. After getting this status, it started to morph into a real industry leader, branching out into new stuff like power trading and consulting. The training wheels were off. Okay, let's keep moving, because if Navratna was a level up, the next step was like reaching the final boss level for a public company in India. By the late 2000s, the scale of NTPC was just mind-blowing. Get this. A single company was generating about a quarter of all the electricity for a country of over 1 billion people. It's really hard to overstate that kind of strategic importance. And it was that incredible dominance that led to this, Maharatna status. This is the absolute top tier, the highest honor. It's reserved for only the biggest, most profitable, and most critical companies owned by the government. And this wasn't just some fancy award they were handed. No way. They had to earn it by meeting these incredibly tough financial goals for years. We're talking massive turnovers, solid profits, a healthy balance sheet. But beyond the numbers, it was the ultimate recognition of just how essential NTPC was to the nation's security. And this power-up was just incredible. With Maharatna status, NTPC could suddenly invest up to 5,000 crore rupees. We're talking well over $500 million US on a single project, all on its own. No need to go back to the central government for a permission slip. That kind of autonomy is just staggering. It gave them the power to really start thinking globally, to acquire other companies, and to morph into a truly integrated energy major. But, the story doesn't stop there. For a giant that was built on coal, maybe the biggest challenge of all was just around the corner: figuring out how to navigate this massive global shift to green energy. The whole identity of the company is changing right now. For decades, it was all about providing that steady, reliable baseload power, the energy the grid needs 24/7, which mostly came from coal. Now the mission is to lead the charge into a sustainable future.
And they're making this aggressive push into solar, wind, and even green hydrogen.
And believe me, this isn't just some PR talk. That number you're seeing, 60 gigawatts. That's their goal for renewable energy capacity by 2032. Now, to really wrap your head around that number, 60 gigawatts is more than the entire power capacity of a lot of developed countries today. It's an absolutely massive pivot. This quote right here, it just nails the whole story. NTPC's success was never just about being big. It was about being big and efficient and profitable, all while being totally committed to its national mission. That's a really rare mix, and it's what defines their legacy. So that leaves us with the big question, right? The one that's going to define NTPC's entire future. We know they can build an energy empire on coal. They've proved that beyond a doubt. But the real test is, can they completely reinvent themselves now? Can this giant lead one of the most important green transitions on the planet? The foundation is there for sure, but the challenge ahead? Wow, it is immense.